Welcome back, everybody. So today I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can set up your own Tor relay. Now, why should you do this? Well, aside from the fact that it's not a bad idea that we all chip into the Tor network and expand it, because the bigger it is, the safer it is. You should know how to do this, and you should be aware through this of potential dangers. So, what are the dangers? Tor will protect your information in terms of encryption. It will protect your information in terms of that no single node will be able to decrypt everything. But multiple nodes can decrypt everything. All the nodes in one circuit, if you have all the keys, you can decrypt the traffic like no problems. Now, suppose somebody, because when you're using Tor, you will use at bare minimum 3 relays. So if you use the first one, that would be the entry, the guard relay, and then you will use the middle node, and then you will use the exit node. So at bare minimum, at all times, you will be using 3 of them. Now suppose that one person owns all 3, they will be able to decrypt everything that you do. Basically, they would know who you are, they would know your IP address, and they would know which sites, where it is that you are going. So Tor does not protect against these sort of passive attacks. And anyone can set up a Tor relay. Anyone. As long as you have internet connection and running PC, you can set up a Tor relay. I mean, the amount of resources that I have on the cloud is hilarious. It's like 1 CPU and 512 megabytes of RAM, and it still runs like a charm. So now I wish to tell you something, and it's because I don't want to trick you into anything or just give you false information that I'm going to show you some incredible things here. I am just going to go ahead and show you how to set up a Tor node. I will not show you how to decrypt the information or how to set up all 3 of them and then wait for somebody to get caught in the circuit where you can decrypt all of their traffic. Why will I not do this? Why won't I show you? Because it can't be done? Because it's purely theoretical? No. It has been done. People have been doing it, and I suspect that people are doing it even now. The reason why I won't show it to you is due to the life cycle of a new relay. So if you go under the assumption that a new relay is reliable and that it has a good amount of bandwidth, it will go through 4 phases. So the first phase will go from day 0 to day 3, where it will get almost no usage. And then you will get the remote measurement phase, which goes from day 3 to day 8, where the load will gradually start to increase. And then you will get the guard phase, which is day 8 to day 68, where load will be fluctuating. And the steady state guard phase, as it is called on their website, it goes from 68 plus days onwards. Now, for me to create a demonstration for you on how you can decrypt the Tor traffic from all 3 relays, I would need to wait for 68 days plus, and maybe not even that, maybe even more, for me to actually have a guard and a middle and an exit relay, because you can only advertise yourself as a certain relay, but it is the authorities which actually will assign you a role. So, but you do have a choice whether you want to be an exit or a middle relay. But if you're in the middle and if you have good bandwidth, if you are stable, etc., they can assign a guard flag to you, so your node would be used as an entry point as well. The entry point knows the IP address of the person using the Tor. The middle node knows the IP address of the entry point, and the exit node knows the destination. So no single node has all the information. But if you have all the nodes, then you can have all the information. The reason that I can't actually demonstrate it to you is because it's going to take me like at least 100 days, not even 68, but at least 100 days for it all to start working. Not due to any technical reasons, but just due to the life cycle of a new relay, which has been predefined by Tor. And I plus wouldn't decrypt anybody else's traffic aside from my own. Anyway, let me go ahead and show you how you can set up a Tor relay. You already know how to use Wireshark. You already know how to set up a server and how to set up a Wireshark for remote capture. So if you know that, you can wait for, it is possible for you to wait for 68 days and then get it all going. Keep in mind that you need to follow and respect the policies of your cloud providers. So I got onto a website from the Tor project. It's right here, and this is the address. So https://trac.tor project.org/project/tor/wiki/doc/good bad ISPs. And down below, you have an entire range of ISPs and their policies in regard to Tor nodes, from based upon country. So country ISP, and you can list through this site and find the ISP providers which will be willing to host your Tor node for a very low price, and where you most likely won't be held accountable for literally everything. I, on the other hand, am hosting it on DigitalOcean, where anything that happens from this IP, I am the one who is responsible. Basically, the hammer comes down on me. So yeah. Anyway, let me go ahead and show you how to host a Tor node. It's very simple. They've made the process hilariously simple. So let me just go ahead and do apt-get install vim. Hopefully it's already installed, because this is a new droplet. Sorry about that. And I'm going to go ahead and type in vim/etc apt sources list. Press insert. Go down to the bottom and further on down to the bottom. And I'm gonna go ahead and now add the repositories. Let me just see if they are in my notes. So look, I am hosting a Debian server because I usually tend to use a Debian. Before you add the repos, you should be you should be aware of this. Because I'm using Debian, I can type in lsb_release-a, and this is going to give me a listing of my system. So I'm using a Debian GNU Linux 8.5 Jessie. Jessie is the unstable version. So if you are using a Jessie or any other, I would strongly advise you to go to this website, again on the Tor project. So it's www.torproject.org/docs/debian.html.en for English. But look, it's a very simple site. So okay, yeah, apt-get install Tor, we're gonna get to that. But you need to add the repositories here, and you select your distribution here. So Debian stable Jessie. And what would you like to do? Tor from source or Tor? Just select Tor version. Yes, I would like to have the stable version. I'm not going to go for the experimental. This version actually applies to the Tor, not to the operating system. And then it's going to tell you actually what you need to do and in order for you to actually conduct the installation and updates. So basically just need to add these following entries and the GPG keys, and you can basically just install it from those repos without any problems of whatsoever. So I am going to go ahead and copy paste these repositories and a few other commands here. So just as before, I'm just going to go into the sources list and go down to the bottom. And I'm just going to go ahead and add these two. But this is how you would be able to determine which repos you require for which distro, because not all repositories are the same for all the distributions. Let's go ahead and right quit. Now I'm just going to go ahead and copy paste the GPG. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, another command. GPG export. That's all fine and dandy and done. And I'll just type in app-get update. Let that finish through. Excellent. Now we're just going to do app-get install Tor. And I'm kind of too lazy to type this in. And this one as well. So let this go. Packaging, processing triggers. Okay, it's done. All is done. Fine and dandy. And we don't actually need to do anything else there. So when the Tor is installed, it's most likely going to start immediately. So let's go ahead and type in service Tor status, and it's running. So let's go ahead and stop it. So stop. Let's make sure that it's not actually running while we are messing around with it. Let's type in vim/etc tor torrc. And if you don't know, if you're using some other operating system on in the cloud somewhere, something like that, if you're not using Debian, you can just type in update db. Update db is universal for Linux distributions, if I'm not mistaken, and then type in locate-itorrc. And there we go. So we will find the torque config file there. So just type in vim/etc tor torrc, press enter, and I'm just going to go ahead and there are entries which you can uncomment here and take a look at them if you wish, but I'm just going to skip all of that because they're commented out anyway, and I'm going to go ahead and insert a following set of commands. So it's going to be OR port 9001. So this is going to be our port that we're going to be using. A address, so this is your public IP address. Let me just go ahead and log into the server via another SSH connection. Whoa, is this the IP? No. Oh god, which one is it? This one. And you might notice that I'm logging in as root. I've shown you how not to log in as root. So hopefully you know. Oh, this is the wrong one. God. 59.155.134. Okay, there we go. I have config. It doesn't matter for me if I'm logging in as root because this is just for a couple of hours anyway. So this is the IP address from you type in ifconfig and then you find your interface and then you find the IP address. I could have just read it from here, but I want to show you how to get it. So you type in the address there, and then you type in nickname. My nickname is going to be hey there. Nicknames are arbitrary, so you can type in pretty much whatever you would like. I don't think that there are any specific restrictions. And then you have the relay limit, relay bandwidth rate, which is basically the limit, and burst. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and configure these two. You can configure them to any number that you want, but of course, you cannot exceed what you don't have. So if you have, for example, 120 megabits of bandwidth, you can assign a certain amount of those. You can assign 20 megabits or whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to go ahead and say 100 KB. So you can assign something else. It doesn't matter. For burst, I'm going to go ahead and type in KB. So it will allow bursts up to basically 200 kilobytes a second, which translates into some 1600 kilobits per second. And we're not going to configure this one as an exit. So exit policy. Actually, I really don't want to mistype this because this could be a really bad idea to misspell this. Let me just go ahead and do this. So exit policy is reject. Bandwidth settings you can just configure here in accordance with your needs, so you can just change these. Tor nodes are not picked at random. They're picked by the greatest stability and the most bandwidth that is available, so keep that in mind. Because if you are creating a net within the Tor to basically de-anonymize a certain set of users, the more nodes you have, the bigger the net, and the greater your ability is to actually capture more users, the greater the chance. Although I'm not actually telling you to do this or encouraging you to do this. This is universally stupid. I personally wouldn't do this. I'm just trying to educate you on the possible dangers of the Tor and what the Tor protects you from and what it does not protect you from. Okay, anyway, now that is done, we can service start Tor. Oh, whoa. Oh, right. Service Tor start. I mean, just used to using systems CTL. And now we're gonna need to type in apt-get install UFW. If you don't have it installed already, I mean. And it's going to be UFW allow 9001 UFW allow SSH. Don't forget to allow SSH. If you forget about it, you will be done for. And then type in UFW enable. Yes. Firewall is active and enabled on system startup, so that's nice. And type in tail. Did I start Tor? No. Did I? Is the Tor up and... Oh, wait. Service status Tor. God, I'm so used to using systemctl. Tor status. Okay, it's running. And let's go ahead and type in tail-f var log Tor. This is to confirm that it's actually working. Okay, so 90. Okay, Tor has successfully opened a circuit. Looks like client functionality is working. Self-testing indicates your OR port is reachable from outside. Excellent. Publishing server descriptor. Performing bandwidth self-test done. Fantastic. This is what we were looking for. And our node is, from this point onwards, functional. If I type in nmap 139.59, I'm not actually sure will the port register as open via nmap, but 134. Let's go ahead and do a checkup. I'm running a little bit short in terms of time. There we go. It does say 9001 TCP state open Tor OR port. Later on, I will, in one more short tutorial, I will show you how can you actually verify that you have incoming connections and that somebody is actually using it. If you're running a middle node, as long as you're not running an exit node, it doesn't matter. You're not visible to the outside world almost at all. The Tor network, you're within the Tor network, and you can post the Tor middle relays pretty much anywhere. The exit ones are the problem. Anyway, bid you farewell and hope to see you in the follow-up.